We've got two great recipes today in one. We're going to make homemade chicken stock and turn it into an awesome chicken and rice soup. Using a whole organic chicken here, I've thrown it in a big stock pot and filling it up with cold water. I'm using my Dutch oven here, but a big stock pot would be perfect. Putting it on the stove and turning the flame up to high. We're going to bring this up from cold water up to simmer. If you have a lid, throw it on. It's going to speed up the process. Once the chicken starts coming up to temp in the water, you're going to get some of this foam comes out of it. Just part of the process. So all the stuff in the chicken, kind of the impurities coming out of it. So make sure you skim it off. I'm using like a tea strainer here, but even a slotted spoon would be fine. Skim it off, put the lid back on, or let it rip away for like another 10 minutes and then come back and do it again. You probably have to do this about 3 times. I like to do this process before putting any of the vegetables in the pot. Just makes it easier to skim it. Let's walk through our busy board here while that blips away. We've got celery tops, parsley stalks, thyme, garlic, onion, and peppercorns. Pretty classic combo here. After a third and final skim, time to go in with the ingredients. Going peppercorns first. Bay leaf, forgot to mention that earlier. That was hiding on the board. Here's our parsley stalks. Thyme comes in next. You could go in with some rosemary here too if you have it. Garlic next. And then we're going to go in with the onions. Some people put carrots in their stock. I don't. I like more of a clear stock at the finish. Carrot's going to make it more of a brown stock. This is just a base technique, but if you want to put carrots in there or other vegetables, go ahead and experiment with it. The vegetables are going to cool your pan down, so bring it back up to a simmer. And we're going to let this go for about 3 hours. Longer is even better. All right, 3 hours later, this is what we've got. I know it's not the prettiest, but stick with me here. This is going to be delicious. I set another pot up to the back of this. It's what I'm going to strain the stock into, but first things first, we got to get this chicken out of the pot. We're going to save this to the side. This is going to be the chicken we're going to use for the chicken soup. So get all the meat out of there. Any of these vegetables, though, have done their job. We're going to just put those in the compost. I got all the big stuff out that I could, and now I'm straining into that secondary pot with a pretty fine mesh strainer. If you don't have one of these, you could use just a regular colander. Might be a little chunky. At the end, you'll get some bits of some vegetables and stuff in there, which is totally fine, especially if it's going to be used in a soup or something after. But if you'd like to get it really fine and don't have one of these strainers, you could always pick up pretty affordably some cheesecloth from your local grocery store and put that in your colander to get the same effect, same end result. And here's a stock. We're going to use this right away in our soup, but you could just as easily put this in some freezer safe containers and store it for future recipes. I like to make this in big batches and have a bunch on hand for whenever I need it. Okay, I just cleaned out the pot that I used to make the stock. Getting that over a medium-high temp on the stove. Adding a little extra virgin olive oil and starting to put in some veggies here. We got celery, onions, and carrots. Also going to go in with a little bit of thyme and some garlic. Again, pretty basic. A little salt and pepper. Just want to sweat these off. Don't need to get any color or go crazy here. These are going to cook as we let the soup cook and come together once we put the stock back in. But I do like to get them going a little bit before adding anything else in. While this is going, I'm taking the meat off of that chicken that we used for the stock. You can see it here on the right of the screen. And then I chopped it up into bite-sized pieces. Just kind of thinking of the right size of chicken in the end dish of chicken soup. So if you like big chunks, keep it that way. Like tinier chunks, do your thing. Now I'm adding back in the chicken stock. Once all the stock's in the pan, we're going to wait for it to come up to like a simmer. And while we're doing that, we're going to add this chicken back in. As you can see, we got a nice yield off of that chicken. Plenty of chicken here to make a nice hearty pot of soup for the family. So mix that around and let it come back up to temp. And once it's simmering again, we're going to add in some rice. You could do egg noodles here, which is probably more classic. Do the same thing, wait till it gets up to temp and add them in. I put the rice in here and then let it go for about 15 minutes until the rice cooked. And just like that, our chicken and rice soup is ready. Spent the better part of the day making this. Our house smells great. I've got a hungry family and I can't wait to ladle this up and see all those bowls get emptied. Hopefully you give this recipe a shot and also give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.